Hey everybody, it's Pastor Joseph. It is Thursday afternoon. Our council met earlier this week and they made some final plans for Holy Week. And so I just wanted to sort of update you and sort of walk through the week and what you can expect and how we're going to do things. So the first day of Holy Week is Palm Passion Sunday. And we're going to have a service. If the weather is nice and it's warm enough, we're going to do it at 9:30, so our regular Sunday Mass time, outside on the north lawn of the church. And this service, we won't do the usual procession because we don't want lots of people moving around and stuff. But it'll have the story of Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, a brief selection from St. Mark's Passion narrative. And that service is sort of our springboard into the rest of the week. It's also a little bit of a trial run for us before Easter of all the logistical stuff that's going to be going on with the live streaming and everything. So that is your first service. Maundy Thursday, traditionally you have one of two options for a big sort of center of the liturgy. One would be foot washing. Foot washing is obviously, I would be sort of curious to see how people would do it distanced, but there's no real way to do that. The other option is communion, and we're not really sure how we're going to handle that outside either. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a service. It'll be on the Zoom, YouTube. We'll archive it on Facebook and stuff. A communion setting similar to what we've done on Sundays for the past year. So whatever you do on Sunday, you should do that on Thursday. And that'll sort of wrap up our Lenten series all about the Eucharist. And so that'll bring that to a close right before Easter. On Good Friday, we're going to do something new this year. We're going to do something called Prayer Around the Cross. This is a liturgy that was written by Susan Briel and Tom Witt that comes to us from Holden Village, which is an ecumenical retreat center in Washington State up in the North Cascades. And essentially, it actually sort of works well for doing stuff distance because it is people gathered together around a cross in the center with candles lit in the middle. And so we have lots of space. We have people spread out. And it's a contemplative service. It's sort of like a Taizé service. It draws heavily from that sort of tradition. And that service is going to be at 6:30, and we're going to do it in the parking lot. It's kind of a long story why we have to do it there. We're going to do it at the bottom of the parking lot at 6:30, and it should be right about sunset. So as the sun's setting on Good Friday, we'll have prayer around the cross, lighting of candles. It should be a very nice service. And then Easter is Sunday, April 4th, and we're going to have lots of options for that day. The plan is to have services at 8 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 11 a.m. These are sort of service of the word services, readings, homily, prayers, music, but no communion. So it's not going to look like a typical sort of Sunday Mass setting. Fred Monk is going to be our cantor at 8 a.m. and then Jason is going to be our cantor at 9:30 and 11. We might have a cellist or something, but we're still sort of working that out right now. So that is Easter. And then parallel to all this, from Sunday to Sunday, we're going to have Stations of the Cross that's set up in the Memorial Garden. And so this will be there whenever you have time during the week. You can come out and do a sort of prayer walk there. We're going to have, if you've been at church recently, you've heard me talk about, we have an audio playlist that we're compiling of music that people have selected. And we're also going to have an audio prayer guide that's narrated by members of our community. And so even if you can't physically be with people, you can still pray with people as you're doing this Way of the Cross together. And the stations that we're using, it's based on one that Pope John Paul II used in Poland in 1991. It's sort of a deep cut on papal traditions, but it's all based around scriptural accounts of Jesus's passion. So if you've done Stations of the Cross before, you know that there's a few that have sort of, they show up, but they don't have parallels in the gospel texts. And so this is all stuff that's from the Gospels, so it should be familiar to you. Briefly, just some stuff about logistics for how this is going to work. There's a document that's on the website. It's going to be mailed out next week that explains sort of what to expect at the Holy Week services. And the first thing is, before the service, you want to RSVP. You want to let us know that your household is going to be here, and you can do that. There's a form online. You just give us your name, email, and if you need sort of a drive-in spot, you can do that, or you can leave a message on the church voicemail. The other thing you need to do before is check the CDC guidance, the New Jersey Department of Health guidance, for whether you can attend an in-person gathering. So if you were sick recently and you're not sure if you're in or out of the window, you need to go look at the guidance for that. If you have a test outstanding, you need to look at the guidance. There are really helpful infographics that they have that walk you through sort of step by step. So please take a look at that in advance of coming to a service. On the day of, when you arrive, you're going to pull in, you can park wherever, and then there's going to be a welcome table. And there's someone from council is going to be there. They're going to ask a few basic health screening questions, and then they're going to check off a list so that we know who's here. And after that, you can go and you can sit in one of the pods that are sort of marked out on the lawn or in the parking lot. And we just ask everyone over the age of 2, please wear a mask and observe sort of distancing norms to the greatest extent possible. So one question a lot of people have had is, what should I bring to the service? And the only thing you really need to bring with you is a mask. We'll have extras here, but you should bring a mask with you. Extra things you might want to bring, if you can bring a folding chair, that helps us. It means less stuff for us to sanitize. You can also bring a Bible, or you can download the bulletin from the website in advance for whichever service you are coming to. And then if you want water and hand sanitizer and something for shade, shade is probably not going to be an issue at 8 a.m. on April 4th, but if it gets hot, maybe, I don't know. So that's basically what we're looking at. It should be a really good week. There's some old stuff that will be familiar, and there's some new stuff that I invite you to sort of try out and take advantage of. So I look forward to seeing you at some point during this Holy Week. And if you have any other questions, you can always just reach out to me, and I'm happy to chat.